Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to more City Skylines. And what would another episode starting off be without me saying, "Hey, I redid downtown again," because I have a problem and I'm obsessed with it. But it's getting even better. I think it's just looking more and more like the city that I am sort of modeling this off of, which I've had a few good guesses as to what city this is. I do live in Tennessee, just FYI, so this might look familiar to you if you are in Tennessee or been to certain parts of Tennessee. This might look familiar to you. So if you missed the video or if you haven't seen it about how I did this is a square cornered parking lot road. It is my baby. I am very proud of it. It took me a little while to mangle around with it, but I am very, very happy. So why did I go and redo downtown again? Well, the realism node hit me. The realism bug hit me, and I felt like all of these buildings were kind of they were like this. They were clipped into each other. You couldn't get back to the backs of them, and I was like, you know what? That's just not realistic. You know, the buildings are going to be able to have entrances and ways to get in behind them. A lot of these buildings are going to have parking back there. And looking at my at Google Maps of a few cities I'm kind of taking some inspiration from, I was like, this is what it was like. They had the buildings on the roads, and then back behind them, they had big, wide parking areas and walking paths and places to get between buildings and get to the other sides. So I started messing with it, and this is what I came up with. And I am very, very. I love my little alley right here. This is using the asphalt, the rural asphalt, and using network skins. I changed the gravel on the sides to actual asphalt, well, pavement instead of gravel, and then I put a couple of little decals on top of it, and I am super, super happy with how it came out. A couple little spots right there that I can fix and bring that up. That's actually a really easy thing to do. But yeah, very happy with how this right here came out. Got a nice little entryway back into it. Lots of invisible pedestrian paths, so pedestrians can get back and forth between these areas. And lots of walkability right here. So the downtown area, again, redone it a little bit. I wanted the buildings to line up a little bit better and to have more room and not have a whole lot of clipped buildings. As you can see, we have not done anything on this side. I've basically been working right here. The police station has moved over here to the corner. I like it right here a little bit better. Cars do some weird things. I like it right here a little bit better. It feels a little more integrated into the downtown area, like I felt like it should be. So I like it being right there. We made another alley back behind here. Cars are going down here, even though they're not supposed to. And I think I can fix that. I have traffic completely turned off, except for deliveries. But I'm thinking what I can do is this. Turn off the left turns. That's how I made them not go back in here anymore, is I made this not be able to make turns back into there. So they could not go back in there. And that should fix it. I don't want cars going in. Oh, I think he's looking for a parking spot. Oh, he's driving some. Oh, yeah, he went to a parking spot. Yeah, they'll do some weird things like that, but as far as driving up in here, turning around like a cul-de-sac, can't do that anymore. But yeah, kind of, we have one clipped building right here, but I felt like it kind of fit as if it was maybe part of this building right here still. And so I left it like that, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna be okay with a few things. So a little bit of clipped, but you can still get to the backs of everything. Now this is a commercial warehouse that I clipped into the bottom of this to make it seem like maybe this is the lower loading dock area, because there was no like loading. This thing's sitting way up in the air. So I wanted it to kind of feel like maybe this is like some employee entrances for it. And this is the loading area. This goes downhill right here, so I have it raised up. So I have this little loading dock prop, and it actually worked perfect. It was just the right height to get to the bottom of those roll-up doors and clip just above the surface to make it look like a little loading area. Super, super pleased with that. Now this stuff back here is sticking up, but we don't see that as often. And look, he's even coming up to it. Oh, that's so much fun. We don't see this back here, so I'm not going to get super picky about back there. Over here, again, I had a lot of like clipped buildings and stuff that just didn't fit right. So I changed out the buildings so I could have a small parking area, maybe for the people who live in these few buildings right here. Or, my guess is that based on how, because I used to live in a downtown, these back doors were kind of like the entrances for us, the residents who lived in the apartments up top. So felt like that was pretty appropriate. Of course, they have a little walking path right over here, and a little bar. This is a bar right here on the corner, and some tables out back. Maybe the employees come out there and chill on break or something out back and everything. So pretty happy with how that is all coming along. What else? Expanded our residential stuff up here just a little bit. Threw in some more houses. I was kind of bored, so I wanted to put in some houses. Oh, I've changed the railroad tracks. I don't remember if I showed you this or not. Yeah, I did. Oh, God, I don't remember anymore. I changed the railroad tracks. If I haven't shown you this, I have. Oh, wait, no, yes, I did, because I was talking about how I can't change it over here. We will later. Yeah, change the railroad tracks. So, speaking of railroad tracks, that actually does remind me, there's a problem with our rail that I cannot fix without using the 81 tile mod, which unfortunately I tried using it and it broke everything. It broke all my districts. It was a disaster, so I got rid of it. The rail for this map comes in. Now this is my fault. I did this. The rail comes in over off this side of the map. It has a map connection. I can't zoom down enough. Has a map connection right there. Zooms in here. And then it curves and it forks into this piece. Now, originally, this piece right here actually turned into this massive viaduct that started like right here and went all the way up here and then connected it up there and went that way. I didn't like that big old viaduct. I found it just atrocious. So I took it out and I forked this into here. Well, this right here, whoa, where'd it go? This right here, I forked into that as well. I made this a fork, which is fine, except all of my rail traffic goes off that way. Okay, it goes off this way. Now, you can't really see it because we can't get over there. But actually right here, right on the edge of the map, above where my icons are at, the rail is missing. The rail is just legit missing. I screwed up somehow when I was using Ron, and I somehow just deleted that entire section. I don't know how I did it, but that entire section of rail is just gone. So basically what that means is rail is not functioning at all on this map right now, because the only connection that goes out, all of these fork in to right here and then go off over there where nothing works. I've made a boo-boo. How do we fix said boo-boo? Well, I need to get up to 6,000 population so I can buy this tile and use a little bit of cheat magic with Find It and hook our rails back up. I'll at least be able to get this rail hooked up, and then later on I'll buy this one and I'll do a fork right here and I'll connect that rail into there. And that way, at least all three of the other map connections for rail will work. Again, I've tried getting the 81 tile mod, but when I got it, it just broke everything. The whole map was just broken with the 81 tile mod for some reason. I've used it plenty of times in the past, but it's just not working right now. And I feel it's kind of cheating to unlock the entire map. I do have the 25 tile mod, because the 25 tiles, that's what the game works with properly. But I do have the 25 tile. 81 tile is just not working for me for some reason. Maybe if I can get it working, I'll try and I can fix this down there. But for right now, we're just going to buy this tile as soon as we can, and I'm going to repair the rail right here and fix my boo-boo. Because the only reason I thought about it was like, I have not seen a train in a long time. It's been a long time since we've seen any trains coming around. And then it was like, I wonder if something's broken somewhere. So I went into the map editor and I looked, and sure enough, even in the map editor, it's missing the rail connection. I was like, rip the map. So it's something it's fixable to a degree. It's fixable. So we'll work on that. We're gonna work on that. But that's not what we're gonna work on today. Today, we are going to take a break from over here on Birchfield. You can see some things have changed in Birchfield. Some farms have moved around. And what are these? These are some special little roads. There's some roads I made. I did these. I took the big asphalt roads that I really like, and I went into the asset editor and I added in random tree props. How cool is that? I know there's a mod on the workshop called Country Roads. That I've seen City Planner plays use, except they're dirt roads, and I'm trying to get away from dirt roads. I just don't feel like I just don't want to use dirt roads. I want to use these old asphalt roads. So I want to use them, but I wanted trees alongside them, but that's a lot of trees and a lot of prop usage. So I decided to go into the asset editor and do it. So it's making it look a lot more forested, but at the same time, I'm not happy with the full layout down here and how things are looking. I'm working on some stuff. I'm playing around with some ideas, so I don't want to touch this right now. I don't want to fool with it. Not at this second. Right now, we're already 10 minutes in, and I've just been yammering on. Let's see if we can get ourselves another 800 population, because right now, my big concern is I'm afraid to do a whole lot more, especially around our main downtown area, until I have a lot of the roads unlocked. So I would prefer to work on those if you will indulge me. So I think what we're going to do is bring the city on over this way and hook this part over here up. I want to change that right there out though. I don't much care for it being this road. Now that I have this with the trees and stuff, I could use that most definitely. But we're just going to use asphalt roads. I just really like the rural asphalt roads. Just look good to me. Just look good. Okay. We're gonna change. Go back to that. Go back to that. That looked terrible. You know what? We'll leave him right there. Then I'm going to move this up to there. Kind of use that as our transition piece. I think that'll work. Kind of interesting. The transition between the rural asphalt and the dirt creates these little lines. Huh. Can I turn those off? Road decoration? Not road decoration. Try to hide everything. Nope, can't. Okay, I can't get rid of it. Fine, whatever. Just be that way. I did have to plop in another landfill. Our landfills are getting absolutely full. It's another reason I want to get to 6,000, because I think that's when we unlock the incinerator. Is it? I don't remember. Oh, no, that was 12,000, I think. No, it was 9,000. Okay, so we still got a while. Still got a while. That's fine. All right. Get back over here. Let's just get our regular old suburban roads. And I'm going to go off over here and do a little bit with this side of the map. That is not what I wanted you to do, sir. Okay. Again, I want to kind of compact these in a little bit. There. Tight as I can. What's going on here? I think, oh yeah, I've got a bunch of stuff turned off. I do want to start getting away from our old grid. So I'm going to start coming with some new roads. Yeah, I want to get away from our old grid. I want a new grid. It's a new grid in town. Like that. Okay. All right. Let's let's just because we know what all this is going to be. It's going to all be residential, so might as well zone the whole thing. Get our pipes under here. Let's see. Go. Probably should come back through sometime and like clean up a bunch of pipes that aren't necessary. Try to get rid of some pipes and some nodes and things like that we don't really need. Okay, so going to start getting us some people coming in on that side. Now I'm starting to think that this, what is this road right here? Oh, I don't have the names turned on. I'm starting to think that maybe this road right here might become another node of commercial jutting off this way. Possibly. Because we're going to need some more commercial nodes somewhere. We definitely don't have enough commercial in the city at the moment. But I'll worry about that another day. Okay. Actually, I'm just going to hook him straight up to there, and I'll take this one out. Go. All right. Axel Park is going to come on up this way, and then he will end right there. Then another park come in right in this area. Well, I keep saying a park. Summit Square. How about? I don't know. I have to think about a name for that one. I don't know yet. We'll think of a name for it. I do need to pause real quick before this builds. God only knows what. The theme for this area right here is going to be, we're going to mix American Classic and American Low Res, I think. Mix a little bit of those in there. Good. We do have quite a bit of demand. Well, not quite a bit, but we do have a healthy enough demand for some commercial zoning. So I think actually this is a good time for something that a lot of American cities have early on. And that's a grocery store. And I know I've got... here we go. Yeah, we got some grocery stores right here. Here's what I was looking for. We've got an Albertsons, an H-E-B, that's what I was looking for. And we have an Ingles. I kind of want to do the Ingles market. You know, Food Line, these are all kind of bigger. Like, you know, I mean, Food Line isn't huge, but I think Ingles kind of fits. You know, it's not the nicest. It's kind of simple. I think it would be a perfect fit for our little town right here. Now, where do I want this thing? I am honestly thinking we're going to come up this way. I'm thinking we're going to put him right up in here. So let's let's take out some houses. Let's do a little eminent domaining, eminent domaining here. Take out some homes, which reminds me, I want to show you guys this. We had some really perfect things pop up. We had a gas station, a Burger King, a Fry Guys, and a general store pop up right. Well, general store, but it's this little backwater burgers. These popped up right here, and I was like, oh my god, it's perfect. I made them all historical, and then I came in and I added some extra landscaping around it and some trees and bushes, fences and stuff like that. And so we got like a little fast food alley right here with a gas station. It just fits so perfect. We also have a, I did put in a post office. You know, it wasn't anything exciting that I decided to do on camera, but plop down a post office right here on the corner. And that's in there. And I downloaded the cutest little assets of a USPS mail carriers. They're out there somewhere doing their mail thing. I don't know where are they at. They're super cute. I'll find them. Oh, here we go. We don't have the best mail coverage. They're trying. Oh, there's one. Yeah, check this out. Look at them. These are what mail carriers drive in the U.S. These little boxy contraptions. So I thought that was kind of cool. And there's also a USPS mail van, and it's basically, oh, there's one right there. So there's the USPS and box truck. So yeah, matching assets are always fun. All right, let's get back over here and get back to building this grocery store. All right, so going to bring the entrance to it. Trying to think how I want it to sit. And have him right there. Going to use our parking lot roads because I'm in love with them right now since I figured out fun ways to use them. We are going to make use of that. All right, I don't want to take out that house. So we're going to select all of this and just scooch him over here a little bit for a moment. All right, we're going to do that number first. All right, now where do we want him to actually sit? That's good. Bring you back to about right here. Okay. Oh, let's turn that off. I don't want that on anymore. Bring you right about to there. Not as much space back behind it as I would like. Honest with you. Still definitely want to use that, so I guess this have to be okay. Okay, so they're going to want an entrance there, and I would like an entrance back somewhere. I want an entrance right there. So 2 entrances for these guys. And I'm going to call a bit. of a shenanigan on this roadway right here. Bring him out. There, just like that. Okay. So do a little straightening up on that road right there. Now, the backside of this is a lot more open than I was hoping it is. A lot closer to this road right here than I was hoping it would be. What I'm going to do is go right here, grab these. Guys are going to lose access to their sidewalks. Sorry about it. Sorry about it. All right, let's get node controller and let's start working on these nodes. All right, that's not perfect. It's not what I want. Really, I was hoping to try to get it more squared, but I can make that work. I can make this work. Okay, I give up on this right here. It's too close. It's not happy. It's not going to let me do what I want to do. It's just going to be a bit of a pain, so I'm not going to sit there and mess with it anymore. Let's just go ahead and move this up. Let's fill in, and let's get this place decorated up. All right. So I've already seen a problem right here, and traffic is wanting to go through here. Or are they? Okay, he is going to Ingles Market. Let's go in here, double check and make sure our speeds are pretty slow. Yeah, 5 miles an hour, so they should not... Yeah, they're all driving to Ingles Market. All right, good. As long as they're not coming in here to try to drive through it, because that would just annoy me. All right, let's finish getting some parking around this guy. Though, to be fair, I wonder if that's enough parking. Hold on a second. Okay, yeah, this would be a decent amount of parking. Yeah, they're all trying to find some parking. Everybody wants to come to Ingles, it looks like. It's a super popular place, I guess. Very, very popular with everyone. You know what? Actually, We'll be a little weird on this side just because I did do it kind of weird. We'll put in some planted parking. Just because I kind of did that. Okay, good. Over here, do the same thing. Although, truth be told, needs to go the other direction. Need these. Want these. Man, that would be a pain to get out of. And these, because it's like it's expecting a connection in the back, and there's not one unless I make one. I don't really want to make a connection back there. I think we're just going to actually change this into this kind of action. I think we're just going to call a bit of a redo on that. Okay, this node right here. Huh. That's what that's for. I wanted to see if there's a way I could straighten that up. Doesn't look like it. That's fine. So that's all actually completely straight right there. Just this road back here goes up a little higher, it looks like. Huh. Oh, the more you know. Wow, it's got 59 workers. Or can have 59. That's a lot of people working at this little place. All right, got Ingalls Market in. I don't think it comes with a sign or anything. Just double check. It'd be a prop. Okay, yeah, no, it doesn't come with any sort of signage or anything like that, so that's okay. You can do without. Okay, line that up a little bit better. Unfortunately, not going to let me do much right here. Kind of at the end of what it wants to do, it would seem. Just it's kind of at the end of what it's deeming appropriate for me to sit there and mess with. That's all right. Oh wait. Oh, that's right. Yeah, obviously there's double nodes right there. Obviously, square all this right here up, and then remove all the markings. Bring that right to there, remove all the markings. There we go. Nice and neat. Lovely. All right, a little bit of landscaping and yeah, a little bit of landscaping. I think we'll be pretty good here. All right, good enough for me right there. I am relatively happy with that. Whoops, going off the map here. Yeah, relatively happy with that right there. And it's dark for some reason. Why is it dark? That's better. Daylight Classic had bugged out on me. Oh, that's much better looking. Much, much nicer looking. All right, cool. Our first supermarket in the town. Very, very nice. Love that. So our little supermarket is going to need some stuff nearby. We've already got a get-go there, but we've already got a get-go over there. May have to build up some stuff around it later on. Some crazy stuff going on over here with our terrain, but I'm not going to worry about that right now. So yeah, so unfortunately for these houses, they get to now stare at the backside of a supermarket. Now, I could come through and change out the parking up front for this and bring it forward, and that might be something I do. That way I can add in a small service road behind it and then kind of fence it off so that people don't have to look at it. I probably will do that, and I'll probably do that off camera and have a more substantial parking, like maybe on the sides, and only a small amount of parking in the front, just to bring it up off of there a little bit, because it is a lot closer than I feel comfortable with. All right, we've only got a little bit more that we need to do for our population, so let's go in and get some more housing going. So we have our first supermarket. Oh, I'm so excited about our first supermarket. And, I think to kind of complement, we've got a public housing area. We've got a basic thing going on right over here. Oh, I fixed the crazy floating cars, by the way, guys. I fixed them. Mostly. See, most of the cars are not floating anymore. I fixed it by taking out the big, long, 8-tile long ones, because it takes the height of the beginning, basically, of the highest point, and it sets that for the cars all the way across. So a car up here is going to be floating. They're going to be higher than the ones down here, so they all float. So I took them all out and I had to place individual, maybe the 2-3 parking spots. So that's what I'll have to do over here at this in order to get enough of them to stop floating. So that's what we're going to do. I think I would like to put in another set of apartments, and I think I want to use the Windsor Terrace. I don't have any Windsor Terrace apartments going on anymore because I've taken them all out. So I think I want to put some in. And I think we're going to call a bit of a reclamation right over here and get some put in over in this area. Put a little housing block up over here. I do need to dezone all of this so nothing grows. Good. Another little housing complex right there. And we're going to put the parking up inside it. We'll just go like that. Now I can't use the drives. They are too wide. So what I can do though is use these little 1-tile roads. Yeah, but they're not lining up correctly. Oh, I gotta fight with it. Hold on. Okay, just about getting it. I've got this side over here fixed. Get this side over here fixed up. Just take a second to line that up. lined up now. That's lined up. Okay. Cool. Line all of this up. Actually, want it to line up there first. Then line up over here. Just like that. Cool. All right, let's get node controller out. Let's see what we can do with this. If anything, I might not be able to do anything with this. Bring that out a little bit. About right. Okay. All right, parking. And we can fit a significant amount of parking in here. Lovely. Everybody loves a good housing complex right in the neighborhood. These guys don't even get, like, the nice stuff. Like, they don't even get, like, the nice... At least the public housing has, like, parks and playgrounds. These guys just get a parking lot slapped into the middle of their area. They don't get nothing good. Pipes are still doing fine underneath here, it looks like. Yes, indeed. Lovely. We do need to connect... We do kind of want to connect these guys up at least a little bit here. I think I'm actually going to move them in a little bit, so let's do that. There we go. Bring them in a little bit, and then I can come back onto the back side and maybe, if it doesn't completely destroy everything, add in a little park path back here for these guys. Oh, it will work. Good. Oh, but it added in those stupid lights that I don't want. Rip. Take those off. Redo. None. All right, so lower that down a little bit. Want to slope all of this. That is kind of sticking up above. Oh well, it's one of those things that, you know, we'll never really notice. So, not going to get too fussy with it. Just going to pull you on up there. Make sure you're still going straight. We'll pull you up right over there. Bring you down. Ground level. Yeah, you're good there. Oh. think what I'll do is just copy this guy. Take you off of that. For some reason this is slightly crooked up here. All right. Fun. I think it needs to maybe just push forward just a squinch or two. Be all of this does. It all needs to squinch up. Just a bit. Well, it would help if I selected all the nodes, though. Okay. Not going to let me disconnect everything. It's okay. It's okay. I can clean that up. All right, cool. So there we go. I will work on detailing that later. Just wanted to get it in there for right now. Got still a nice demand for some more residential. Get in here and add in our last little bit so we can get to that 6,000 mark. I am not checking my topography. All right, let's see if this gets us to our goal here. I see a few places I would actually like to connect in. Add a little more density. Oh yeah, this ought to get it right here. Get us finally to that 6,000 goal so we can start work on our roads. We'll have a whole road episode. It'll be glorious. Whole road episode of upgrading roads, making turning lanes, doing all that fun kind of stuff. Man, Ingalls is super busy. People love coming to Ingalls. Look at that. People love coming to Ingalls. They love it to death. I'm being teased right now. I'm being teased. I'm losing population. I'm gaining population. The game is being the ultimate tease at the moment. There, come on. It's seriously, there we go. Busy town. Awesome. City planning policies unlocked. Tourism stuff we don't care about. All these new policies, but the big thing, all of these roads. All of these roads, all these big urban roads. I am super excited to get to use some of these finally. What else? We have fire stations, police headquarters, tropical gardens, volleyball stuff, pumping services, weather radar, medium warehouses, sightseeing stuff, laboratories, intelligence agents, a pool, community pool would be kind of fun, and then all kinds of stuff right here. Drive-ins, ramen restaurants, noodle restaurants, downtown hotels, city office buildings, rail yard shopping center, a temple, general hospital. Oh, there's some nice stuff. There's some very cool stuff that has unlocked for us. Actually, where's that general hospital at? I didn't even know that was a building that you could get. Wait, is it this one? Oh, I think it's the general hospital. No. Or is it? Oh, God. I don't even know what I've unlocked. University Hospital. Under here. I gotta see what we've unlocked. The historic mansions, Speedway stuff, BP stores, Family Dollar. Yeah, Family Dollar. Definitely need that. Content creator pack stuff. Small office building, downtown hotels, resort hotels, Yeah, maybe I'm just thinking the general hospital that we unlocked right there, because I'm not seeing it anywhere right here. Must be something. It must be that I unlocked then. I just got so many mods I don't even know what I have, apparently. Office building. I'm sure we'll have a few larger buildings like this. I mean, every city needs, you know, a city office building for all of the office workers and stuff for the city to work at. So, all right, excuse me. All right, guys, there we go. Finally got 6,000 population. City is coming along. Very, very happy with it. Next episode is going to be a big road episode. We're going to do a lot of work on our roads around the town. I'm looking forward to that. Hope you are too. And with that, let's go ahead and have a nice little look at our creation right here. With a fire. With a nice big fire happening. It is coming along nicely. I'm very excited about the city. I hope you are too. We'll see you in the next episode. Until then, take care.